Hey everybody, Syntax77 back with you, and today I want to do a real quick impromptu kind of video on a little find that I just got delivered to me from the wonderful world of eBay for an upcoming winter trip. And after that trip I plan to do a full video on this, but just figured I'd show you what I got. This in this box, right underneath this paper, is an MSR, oh there it is right there, Rapidfire stove. Like I said, picked it up on eBay. Now this is a discontinued model. They don't make these anymore. I'll get into why I bought it in a second. But discontinued, I believe, circa 2001 from what I read. Originally introduced in the late 80s. It's actually MSR's first stove that used gas instead of liquid fuel. So this stove kind of entered them into that market. And actually, in fact, did a bit of research, as I usually do, before getting interested in buying this stove. So I'm really going to resist going too far into detail until I do, like I said, my full review, if you will, even though I'm about 20 years too late on this stove after I do the trip. So I'll spare you all the details, but let's just go through here because I'm excited about my new find. So we got the, well, I already threw it to the side, but the initial instruction manual. Looks like we got some lighting and maintenance details that I'll have to check out. I got the original little tag that was probably on it. Oh, printed, or at least copywritten, 1995. This stove, by the way, you can find these on eBay for about 30 bucks. They do occasionally pop up. Alright, this is a base plate to the windscreen. Now this is a remote canister stove, so you can use a windscreen with it without fear of exploding, which you can't do with a traditional canister stove where it's mounted on top. I shouldn't say traditional, but a more modern canister stove. This will wrap around it into a circle. Now I got this because for my upcoming trip, two reasons. A, wind, like I just said, I can actually use a windscreen and fully enclose this without fear of overheating my canister. And more importantly, because of the temperatures, I wanted to be able to invert the fuel, which is a whole nother subject that I'll get into later in my more detailed video. But fuel inverting gas fuel, switches it into liquid feed mode, and then you can actually get about 20 degrees extra temperature performance. So I should be able to worry less about the cold weather screwing me up. And this will still take, here it is, traditional, or I should say, keep using that word, normal standard canister fuel. You know, just like you would hook up to a pocket rocket or any other modern gas system. Originally this did come with a larger container, but the threading works with the new container, so you're good to go. Now let's see here, I would imagine this slides around. Oh, perfect. Now, for those of you more seasoned out there, you may recognize this thing. What's it look like? Looks like a Whisperlite. That's because it practically is. They had the Whisperlite out. It was very successful. Liquid stove. They wanted to get their feet wet in the gas market, and they basically just modified their Whisperlite to have a gas canister connector. Now back then, I think they were paranoid about experimenting with gas, and they wanted to keep that canister farther away. Now, as we've learned, that's okay to do that, but this does give us advantages, because now we have a nice distance between the can and this. We can windscreen it, and also we can take our standard can, like I said, and thread it up to it. Matter of fact, let's do it for the first time. See if this thing blows up. That would make for a good video. Actually, got one that's in pretty good mint condition almost. You can't tell if looks like it has been fired. Obviously there's a little bit of residue in there, but it's in really good shape. A lot of them don't come with all this original packaging, which is cool. But anyway, as you see, hooks up, keeps its distance. This is similar. The modern version of this is a MSR Wind Pro, is probably the most comparable system, but those are around $100, and didn't feel like spending that. Plus I got a little nostalgia bug, I suppose. Got a little obsessed with this stove for its historical implications. But anyway, yeah, for around $30 or so, you can get yourself going. Now, of course, it's not going to be the lightest thing in the world, but in my full review, we'll get into the weights and whatnot. But it's probably, or it's definitely weighs more than the modern Win Pro. Let's see what else I got in here. Okay, that thing at the bottom is not standard. I'll get to that in a minute. Another advantage of getting one in virtually unused condition is it comes with these original tools. So I believe one of these will, yep, clean the jet, and the other one is a little MSR tool for taking it apart should you need to do more in-depth maintenance. So got my nice tools in there, survived all these years. And then this last part, this is actually something that was bought separate by the previous owner, I'm assuming. Let's see, somehow or another this connects to this. It works with a Whisperlite as well. You can see where my thumb is there, that a canister of liquid fuel could go there, but it's like a little snowshoe for your stove. I think I'm going to bring this. Adds a little weight, but this way I just plop this sucker down on the snow. I know that it got a nice solid base, so that was just something that happened to be thrown in, but I think it's kind of cool, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. So yeah, I'm excited. I got my, it's like an episode of This Old Stove, the MSR Rapidfire. So anybody else out there, you more seasoned vets, if you have any experience with this stove, please feel free to chime in the comment section. Let me know your experiences with it, any tips you have. I'm really excited to test it out, both at my house right now and in the field on a winter trip that's coming up pretty soon. So, also, if you have any old stoves that you really like, maybe they weigh a little more, maybe they do or don't make them anymore, but you just really are attached to it, get a little conversation going down below too. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. But once again, this is the MSR Rapidfire, a little eBay find I made. I am Syntax77, and you have fun out there.